Cramorant is looking so good here as we head into our first ban phase. Amaterasu making their way here through the winner's bracket. They are your purple team, GT your orange team. Amaterasu going to be getting the first pick right here, and unless it's banned out, I think it might go over to that Espeon. We're gonna have to see, although Slowbro also a big time pick.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. Amaterasu is 100% win rate when they have the Slowbro in their hands. So, Dodrio, Espeon banned out. We got a Slowbro opportunity here for Amaterasu. ASU forks up. We're going to see if that's the direction they go in, and look at that. Snapping that thing in instantly.
Here we go. It's going down. They're yelling, Slowbro. Let's see what happens on the side of GT. They have banned out that very powerful Pokemon, Espeon, but switcheroo. Kofi coming out. Let's go.
All right, so JL thinking, listen, we saw the Legend of Espo be formed right here on broadcast. We cannot let them have the Comfey. So what does that mean? Eggnoob going to be picking up the pink Slowbro here with another wonderful pink Pokemon, that fairy type Gardevoir on Regrets.
Yeah, I guess the thought behind this Comfey is we need the last hit potential. We need the secure potential coming out from this Comfey right here.
Yeah,
as Trainer picking up once again that Glaceon, and of course rolling on that Trevenant we've seen do so well throughout this tournament.
Yeah, almost as it's written in stone. Espo not getting the Comfey, they're locking in Hoopa. They are wonderful on this Pokemon. So is JL, honestly. As they're trading back and forth, they're certainly on one on the other. Lakota and Lucario is setting themselves up for success, but Yeet Fan, remember how big of a terror they were last season, Spraggles, with that Decidueye.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if you take away Espeon and you take away Gardevoir, there's really only one place to go for Yeet Fan, and that's back to the bird, the archer with the spirit shackles, getting the KOs from miles away. Kratos hovering this Cramorant that we've seen them do so well on throughout this tournament. I do wonder, however, if they're going to be as effective without that Comfey around their neck, because that seems to be a big strategy for the side of GT.
Oh yeah, it seemed like Espo was in their pocket the whole time. The Comfey was around the waist, kind of like an inner tube as Kratos was diving in and out of these fights. So we're gonna see if that's truly the recipe for success for the Cramorant, or if Kratos just got it like that with the big bird Pokemon. I love myself a Cramorant. I'm glad we're getting to see it today.
Huge Cramorant fan myself, and you know, another big Pokemon to look out for, Tyranitar. Once again getting picked very late, so there isn't any counterplay from GT unless they kind of assumed something like this was coming. But Tyranitar with a Comfey collar, we saw it earlier from Amaterasu and it was brutal.
Yeah, there's not as many forward-facing players in GT. There's certainly a couple melee brawlers there that Tyranitar is going to try and take advantage of. So I think I'm going to see it, you know, turn down its volume a little bit in this game. But certainly, Nudo picking it last means that they see something in the opposing composition that says Tyranitar is going to be enough to tip the scales here. And the fact that we've got Comfey in our pocket is just going to help us push this envelope even further.
Here we go. Game number 1 of your North American Grand Finals. Amaterasu, your purple team. GT, your orange team. GT is going to need to beat them multiple times. Get a bracket reset to win this whole thing. Comfey, by the way, in NA Dubstacks, 87% win rate. Things are different this side of the Atlantic.
Yeah, in EU, bolstering a meager 16% win rate. So Comfey truly finding its home in NA, specifically this weekend. Kratos on the Cramorant, you love to see it. Eggnoob and Rona just sitting on top of each other. They're just trying to get this bundle be sorted out. Who takes it, who walks away with it, and it's actually rolling it, and they might be able to get this stack into the phase of 2.
They're getting the stack. They're going to run back, try to grab a berry and get out of there. There's the X speed, and they're trying to make their way home as they get another secure, and they're going to score here. They're going to have to pay for this, I have to assume. Running back for another berry right here. Come on, Roland. You absolute menace as they're heading towards the central area of GT right here, just wasting an insane amount of time as they have to go on a wild Trevenant chase to finally take this Pokemon down and make it back in time for these 850 birds.
Yeah, and that leaves Trainer without the support of the rest of his team. Yes, the Phantom wasted a lot of time, but not quite enough to make that a difference maker here. GT able to get the KO and smother those birds in the bottom path.
Obviously, one thing that's happening on the side of Amaterasu with that Trevenant is they are just putting money in the bank with those stacking items. Getting 3 big stacks early is huge. The faster you're stacked up, the faster you're going to be able to dominate your opponents. You know, at some point, it's like having multiple levels on a Pokemon. So ASU Roland deciding, hey, we're going to sacrifice my, Pokemon's life here for a few of those juicy stacks.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to stand up and stand tall until Trainer pulled up to be able to deal with a little bit of icy wind action into the face of GT and not going down there is important. However, GT getting an amazing crop of experience, getting all of those birds in the middle. Lakoding already level 6, Cramorant level 7.
Level-wise, GT is looking fantastic right here. Lee coding on that Lucario, a Pokemon that they are known for dominating on, as it looks like Amaterasu is trying to make something happen to this gold. Trainer's in a little bit of trouble. They're both in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, rolling now and trying to get out here once again. We've got the Woodhammer for the bunks, but no, that's a double KO for the Cramorant.
Yeah, Cramorant really getting it done. They were already on the level lead and getting more of a lead now as they're collapsing on this Dartrix. I can't even catch up with what they're doing. They're moving so quickly. Glaceon gets KO back on the Cramorant, but that was a good move to take out the Dartrix with that Phantom Force on the Hoopa there. Great look by Espo. They are definitely feeling it today, Spraggles.
Yeah, that positioning was incredible. Just using it far enough to push it back towards the team right there. Yeet Fan in some trouble. Didn't even realize how bad that was going to be for them. As we're getting ready here, it's 7 minutes right now. Reg Ice is on the map, and both teams are now scrambling down to the bottom path to do something. A couple of big wood hammers and a pain split come out as Amaterasu is starting to chip this thing up.
Poor Trevenant was half HP by the time it got in there and actually was able to hit anything with that wood hammer. We've got the Cramorant Unite already coming out, and they're trying to work through this Reg Ice. Good spacing by Agnew, but it's the Decidueye that seals it up for Amaterasu. Are you kidding me? That's exactly why you select that Pokemon. Yeet Fan said, hey, look, you might have KO'd me in a little bit of an embarrassing fashion here, but I'm going to take this Basement Reggie for the squad, and we're going to rally back off the back of it.
Absolute fadeaway jump shot from that Decidueye there. Just walking away from the Regi saying, I got this, don't worry. Let him keep hitting it. Big secure there from Yeet Fan. Like you said, Dupe Snacks, they've got to make up for kind of getting dusted pretty hard on their own goal.
Yeah, Amaterasu still behind on experience. GT not looking to let them come back despite getting that Basement Reggie there, that bottom path Reggie. So GT in a decent spot. We're going to see how they maneuver over this Reggie Alecki here. Looks like Amaterasu wants to start shaking it down a little bit, see if they can bait in GT. The action's downstairs. Nudo is just shooting that breath all over the place, but Lakoding catching the resets coming through. That Bone Rush is set up. They fire up the Unite move, but they're KO'd by the Decidueye. That's a fairy singularity on top of Yeet Fan. Yeet Fan is you going to make it out. They're pushing forward. Regrets once if they get KO'd back the other way for that effort. Glaceon Unite comes out there on the chase for Kratos. They get them. You wanted an experienced comeback story. Here you go. Nudo carrying the squad, pushing forward. KO Shrika 2, and poor Espo just left sitting on that goal pad.
And once again, you have to remember that Tyranitar, a late game Pokemon. It's not too late. We're still above the 5-minute mark, and it's already here dominating. This is something GT is going to have to deal with. It has not been a presence in this match at all, but now that it's evolved, it's going to be a menace.
Without a doubt, Amaterasu really taking to the bank the adage of you can't let the other team step into this one, and they did just that. They bought just enough time for their scaling Pokemon to get there, and now they're trying to push in the face. That Hoopa was unbound, and now it's low. Tyranitar Unite is out. Are they going to be able to catch anybody? Lakoding flips the script, darts back around, Bone Rush reset, and they get KO'd by who else? The Comfy. I don't know how many times we're going to call that today, but I didn't think it was going to be this many.
It's really impressive, isn't it? Agnew watching this bottom path goal while GT is making their way down to Reggie Rock. Big old Spirit Shackles trying to zone out the members of GT as they are starting to rip this a little bit right here, put some damage on it with that Glaceon, and now they're realizing that GT is here and they're trying to position themselves for a fight. Roland trying to get in front of their squishier carries right here as a big Decidueye Unite move comes out and starts ripping down multiple members of GT.
Yeah, that Unite comes out. That's an understatement. It buried itself into the face of GT. This Regirock is leashing, but if they collapse on it, they might have an opportunity to take it before GT can adjust. Amaterasu getting some good spacing. The Trevenant playing way far forward. We're watching Trainer and Yeet Fan do what they do best, and that's chuck a bunch of damage at objectives, and now they take that thing down. They're working their way towards the goal zone. How about some birds in the middle for the team? Amaterasu looking very good. Rolling it, burning so much daylight for this GT squad.
Yeah, just standing in the face of GT on their goal, basically. Looks like Trainer's getting punished a little bit here. And we're at about the 3-minute 45, 3-minute 30-second mark, which means Unite moves can be flying out right now, and they will still have them in time for Rayquaza. And unfortunately, Nudo not able to make anything happen there, as a massive escape was planned there by the Hoopa from GT.
Great look by GT. They had an opportunity for a pick for Nudo, but they didn't overextend or stay too long. They saw, hey, we're not going to get this one. Let's just peel back. Let's not over pursue and get ourselves in hot water. And what do they get as a reward for that? Tons of points upstairs and a good lead.
Espo using this hyperspace hole, possibly having to make it home. It looks like they decide to do that. Lakoding also taking their way back to base. No one on Regieleki right now. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. That means 50 seconds until Rayquaza hits the map, and that's when teams are going to need to make a decision. GT up by a little over 60 points right here, but they're not safe at all. Anyone can peel off and score, especially on that bottom goal as they start to coalesce towards this Regieleki. And here comes the Tyranitar waiting in the tall grass, seeing what it can pick off here.
Regieleki at half HP. GT forced to just retreat a little bit. We're going to see what kind of moves Lakoding can make. None, as it turns out. Glaceon seals it up, and now 20 seconds until Rayquaza hits the map, and this lead is in the favor of GT, but it's not that big.
No, it's not that big, and there's something pretty big on the map, and that's a Tyranitar with a Comfey on it, just walking around trying to make something happen. They let Regieleki walk into this top path goal. Nudo and Comfey moving up there, but that means 2 members of Amaterasu will not be in the central area. We're going to see if GT can take advantage of that as they start chipping away at Rayquaza and looking for members of Amaterasu to engage on.
Oh, I would have looked for a bigger move there if I was GT. You had your power couple up top, the Tyranitar and Comfey, nowhere to be seen, and you didn't put any pressure on. Yeet fan looking to square up somebody for that 360 no scope. Who do they see? Is it Eggnoob that's going to catch it? Yes, they do. Nice little reset by GT, but Eggnoob can't catch it. Comfey Unite is out. The Tyranitar's on the chase here, where I thought would have been based on what we saw just there. A lot of spacing, a lot of patience.
Yeah, a lot of patience right here. GT just kind of moving them back. They really didn't punish them at all for making that score happen. I'm wondering if they're going to try to make a score of their own, as we see Lucario moving around towards the central area here of Amaterasu, and here they go pushing in towards this fight. But once again, this is still incredibly patient. They're going for a reset into this hyperspace hole, and no one is pulling the trigger on this fight, Doob Snacks.
Lakoding darting, but 3 caught by the Trevenant Unite. Decidueye Unite comes out as well. Tons of damage is getting rained in. GT is trying to collapse on Amaterasu because they threw the kitchen sink at him. Nudo's getting low. They're on the retreat. They're pushing far forward. Glaceon Unite as well. Gardevoir bites the dust. Espo gets frozen up. They're pushing forward, and it's Kratos trying to find a target, and they're catching him here. Decidueye gets credit for 2 back the other way, but it's 2 down on each side. GT trying to get it out here. They're trying to catch resets, but it's the big nasty Nudo getting in the middle. But who else but Comfey getting credit? 3 down for GT, and it's just Nudo sitting in the middle. Espo gonna try and make another legendary play. We're gonna see it shake out. JL pops off, pops back on. Kratos trying to shed in some damage. Nudo engages, and that is good chicken dinner. Too easy. Espo just chip shotting in.
Here
JL space.
Gardevoir.
Regrets come through. No, it's Espo. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me, Spraggles? Espo. What are you made of? Can they get any points? And it's up to the Gardevoir. They got to get the 50 banger.
Oh my gosh, here we go. 4 seconds left, 3. There is enough time. They put the points on the board. Is it going to be enough? What an absolute crazy play at the end. Tyranitar deciding not to secure it right there, trying to wait and give enough time for possibly its team to come back or for it not to go down. Let's see the scoreboard right here. 270, 303. GT takes it in the last 5 seconds.
Espo. Absolute mutant. Support character, never heard of it. Last hit king. Come on, dude.
Espo right now is supposed to be under arrest for its Comfey secure earlier, and now we have this from Hoopa. I mean, this player is clutch with a capital Q.
Clutch with a capital Q. That's how spelling works. Let's take a look at the numbers here. 303 to 270. It turns out that their damage output was a little bit paltry compared to the last time we saw Nudo on the Tyranitar carrying the Comfey around. So maybe there just wasn't enough face-to-face, knuckled up, bruising action for that Tyranitar to really hit its stride.
Well, you know, this is something that you called before the match, was just they had so much spacing and so much range on the side of GT that it was going to be hard to get enough value out of that Tyranitar, and I think you absolutely nailed it right here. We're going to see our first bans, Espeon and Dodrio. GT with the first pick right here. The question is, do they want the Comfy? They didn't need it last time. And they do.
They're going for it. Look, the Espeon is like, look, there was 1 KO, 2 KOs maybe taken by the Comfy on the other side. I need to show them how it's done. Let's get 4 KOs. Let's seal another objectives. Too easy. JL quickly on the Wigglytuff, but of course locking in the Slowbro immediately.
And here we go. We're figuring out our last Pokemon. Glaceon has been so incredibly valuable for Amaterasu. No surprise to see it right here. Next 2 picks over to the side of GT. They're going to be grabbing this Gardevoir for Regrets. They have just been an absolute demon on this Pokemon today. Playing so incredible on it. And Eggnoob, oh, okay. We are grabbing the Cramorant for Kratos.
Yep, they've got the Comfy. Where other teams go, maybe a Tyranitar, maybe a Dodrio. That's banned out. Tyranitar didn't look great, but guess what does? Cramorant, Kratos, Comfy or not, they're getting it done with that Pokemon.
Once again, Yeet Fan bringing back the bird. Trainer bringing the Hoopa. Hoopa, I mean, it feels like somehow this Pokemon is undervalued, while at the same time, it's one of the most devastating things in the game still.
Coding Shades of Season 1, keeping it going here in Season 2. They're taking Lucario again, not a very contested pick, and they're getting into their comfort zone easy. Eggnoob with the Mime is exactly the type of pick I would like to see out of them. Gonna be able to create phenomenal spacing for Regrets and allow them to just chuck bombs from the back line.
I wonder what Nudo's going to bring out here. I mean, they're known to play a bit of an Absol, but ooh, it actually looks like we're bringing a Talonflame out into this grand finals. Talonflame getting so much more play today than I expected, Dupe Snacks.
Oh, yeah. I expected no play, Spraggles. I would have put that number, I would have written it in, no questions asked, but proven wrong by the top players in the game. They see something in Talonflame that you and I haven't experienced yet, and I'm hoping to see it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Talonflame does do some amazing damage to some squishier Pokemon, and at the same time, the Secure is incredible. So if you look at the side of Amaterasu, they've got the Spirit Shackle, they've got the Icy Wind, and now they have either Brave Bird or Fly from Talonflame, and those are all huge secure moves on these big objectives and to secure big KOs. We're going to see what GT is going to be able to do about it. I can tell you that Mr. Mime could be a real problem for Decidueye, for Glaceon. It jumps in with its Unite move, and they really can't get away from it easily at all.
Great point. One thing I want to see out of Nudo and Espo is some good tandem, or excuse me, Nudo and JL is some good tandem work between the Hoopa and themselves. So make sure that there's a hyperspace hole for Nudo to catch once they go deep on the engage, so they can get out and they're not just feeding KOs into the hands of GT.
Here we are, GT, your purple team, Amaterasu, your orange team. If GT wins this thing, Dude Snacks, we are going to a bracket reset in our grand finals. Regrets heading into this central area here as the Gardevoir for GT.
That's exactly where you want them, right? We've seen Regrets on Gardevoir. You said it before. They've been a demon. They're going to try and keep that streak going. A little bit of a split action in the middle because they really want Trainer to hit that Evo. Bang, Glaceon time.
Yeah, Eevee, you know, any of the Eevees can get an early level, and it's a huge advantage if you're able to evolve right away here. They just get a massive power spike. They get their first big move, as it looks like Coding looking to try to secure in the face of JL, able to do it, and because they had that Comfy with them, the scoring speed is increased, score an easy 10 points.
So that Fletchinder is stacking, right? So the fact that JL was able to hold it down in the face of 2 to let them stack and get that ball rolling for themselves is a great place to, Comfy getting a KO on the Fletchinder right there. It's Espo, just built different,
The way their Comfy works is different from all the other Comfies. There are scientists still trying to figure it out.
Dude, get out of here, dude. Get out of here, dude. What are we watching? Who is this person? What is this Pokemon?
They're built different, Doob Snacks. That's why it was a first pick right here. Hopping onto Lucario, seeing if we can save them a little bit. It's getting pretty low. Espo, where are you? Is there any way they make it back to Lucario? I don't think so. Come on. Wow. Just barely not making it to that goal.
That was going to be truly the straw that broke the camel's back. I might have had to walk away if they made it out of that one. Holy. Esposito on the Comfy. That skip it tripping everybody up, dude. Nudo now on the retreat a little bit, trying to get back to their side. JL going to give their support. Lakoding got to be a little frustrated that they couldn't take down the Firebird.
Got very, very close there, but breaking some ankles and breaking some hearts up in that top path as they were not able to secure that KO. We got a minute now until our bottom path objective. Well, it looks like Amaterasu is trying to clean that up with a nice Spirit Shackle here. JL in a lot of trouble, getting eaten up by the bird.
Yeah, Air Slash coming through, keeping that reset from happening, and a good look by them. Kind of be able to use the predictive text there and get in front of that hyperspace hole so they couldn't catch a ride back for free.
I try to use predictive text, but everything is just confusing. It's a lot of Q words.
Yeah, you seem to just work Q into a lot of unique situations. Whatever. Such is life. Claydol getting taken down by Kratos. They're carrying their Comfy. That dangerous, dangerous barbed wire hula hoop that they've got on as they're pushing forward. And we're just trying to make some action happen. Trainer kind of chunked. Kratos wants that action. They're getting in there. Yeet Fan willing to try and hold it down and see if they can stitch an arrow in. No, GT backing off.
We got a level 8 Decidueye, level 8 Glaceon here. This is great. They have a Unite move on the side of Amaterasu. They can make something happen here, and like we've said, the Secure is unbelievable on the side of Amaterasu. So if they can start ripping this, get some damage onto Regice, it's going to be really difficult for GT to do anything about their Secure.
Egnoob stitching in a good little wall, cutting them off, but they get KO'd by the Glaceon immediately. The engage is happening. The Unite move is out. Kratos is getting bit on. Espo is getting low as well. But look at Regrets just getting chipped up by rolling it. Decidueye seals up Regice, and now they can make a push. Regrets is getting tracked down. That fly fell just a little short, but they darted through for the KO anyways. Amaterasu looking to get their points in, and they're just trying to space off GT. Can Egnoob stop any of this action? It looks like they can't quite do it. Regrets here for the cutoff, and that's more stacks for Yeet Fan. We know this is the moment in the game where they like to get those in.
Yeah, big moment for Yeet Fan to get really powerful. Those Spirit Shackles scale so well off of the attack stat of Decidueye. So being able to stack up that attack weight is a huge advantage for Amaterasu. Trainer heading back towards the center area, making sure to get their buffs right here as we see GT cleaning up this central spawn of these wild birds.
Yeah, those Swablu and Altaria, not long for this world, but that allowed Nudo to get tons of stacks, and they didn't actually care about the birds because they're focused somewhere else. We see the Kramerite Unite comes out, and they can't get out in time. The Talonflame goes down to their bird counterpart. This trainer's looking for that action. Fairy Singularity gobbles up Yeet Fan too easy, and now Amaterasu's battling from their goal zone. They get the first KO, and we know when Comfy falls off, it's usually easy work after that. They're looking to cut off Comfy, but they hop a ride on the Lucario, who fires off their Unite move. The chase is on. They're seeing if they can catch Trainer. A little cutoff move from JL to try and keep Trainer alive. Here comes Yeet Fan with the Shadow Stitch, or not the Shadow Stitch, the Spirit Shackle to cut that off. So a decent look, and I cannot believe no one from Amaterasu went down right there.
Yeah, incredible moves from Glaceon right there. I've never known Glaceon to have this movement, but it did in that fight as they secure this Regieleki, pushing towards the tier 1 goal of GT. We see Roland staying in this bottom path, continuing to get experience. As that walks in, only 2 points here, and Trainer says, yeah, I'll go ahead and break this. Nice big overcap of 38.
Yeah, GT knew the writing was on the wall, so they were just looking for a clean KO on the Glaceon once it went in to put his points in. It was a done deal. It's how can you capitalize on what you know the other team's going to do. They got their crisp KO. Amaterasu bailed. They knew that was going to happen. So that's just top level play, just waiting for things to shake out as it's supposed to. But it's Registeel time.
Here we have JL, the Hoopa, able to bring the whole team down here at any moment as GT starts to make their way to this bottom path. And look at that, 40 points from Talonflame into that top goal as Amaterasu makes their way down to this Registeel.
And now, who was nowhere, Amaterasu is there. They're all over it, and the Unite moves are coming out. That's the Kramerite Unite right in the middle, Fairy Singularity on top of it. So is the Comfy Unite. Now they're all over the birds. I'm not even sure this Registeel is still there as the rest of the team is scampering around. Regrets is on the retreat. They're on the chase. They want the bird. Registeel finally taking about 25% HP down. Can Amaterasu catch a reset? Is this Registeel gonna leash? Spirit Shackle fires wide. Ray Finkel can't get it done today. JL playing 4 with the goal. They get dusted on the wall, smeared across the dashboard. Are you kidding me? That was nasty business. Egnoob doing work out here with Regrets, keeping Regrets pinned. Another Decidueye Unite comes out, gets the Mr. Mime too easy. Look, Coding gets cashed in by the Glaceon, and now the Registeel finally has Amaterasu around it, and they're looking to take it down.
Look at this here. Registeel just getting ripped down. Doomsnack's needing a moment to breathe there as Amaterasu's not giving GT any air at all either. Pushing in towards this tier 1 goal. 201 to 40, and they want to extend this lead right here as they're trying to throw another 32 in. Talonflame up into the sky. This fight is still continuing. Kratos being pushed back. Talonflame being pushed back now as GT finally picks up a big KO on the bird, and it looks like for a minute maybe everyone can just reset. Hey, calm down. Break it up. Break it up. Break it up.
Break it up, break it up, break it up. Ding, ding, ding. We're back at it. Here we go. As soon as Kratos sees Yeetfan, they start diving in, trying to find and close the gap there. Take a look at the Talonflame rotating up top. Lakoden going to go try and meet them as Kratos is there for the cut off. Can they do any work on Nudo, who's just posturing right now? Comfy and Kratos looking to get some action done as Eggnoob is getting bullied out by the defender downstairs. Regrets pulling up for the smoke, and we are all over this map because there's so much action happening. Finally, GT commits to the Regieleki. Trainers bubbling out. They fire in on Espo. Espo just screened in, trying to get it done. Regieleki getting switched all over the place here. Fly comes in. Are they landing on the perfect timing? Nope. Sussed out, snuffed out. Now Amaterasu gets the Regieleki, and they're pushing in on this goal zone. Just a poor Comfy Espi. You ain't got it like that, son. They get KO'd. Regieleki going to a goal zone.
Massive Unite move there from Amaterasu. Something to notice. That means that is our fight right here. That is our Rayquaza fight, and they're looking to flip right now. They no longer have a Slowbro Unite as Mr. Mime is jumping in right here. Doomstacks, and it's being ripped down.
It's being ripped down. The stuns are out. They're putting a lot of pressure on Hoopa to keep Regrets away from this. Very Singularity comes out, and the goal zones are open. Amaterasu takes it. 3 players down. They're pushing through. KO Shrika 2 for Yeetfan. They're feeling the Spirit Shackles. The coding wants Yeetfan down. They want a little bit of a courtesy KO back the other way, but it's Hundo Burgers on the menu. Amaterasu is eating good right now. 605 to 116.
Like my solo queue teammates, Yeetfan Unite moves the Rayquaza, secures it for the squad, picks up the KOs, and picks up a huge win right here. GT is not fully out of this. There's still a minute 20, but it's going to be extremely difficult for them to come back by about a 500-point deficit right here. Make it a little more than 500 points as more points rain into that goal. And you can see him just kind of celebrating a little bit, you know, spinning around with that Spirit Shackle. Yeetfan knows they did well today.
Yeah, Amaterasu not afraid to take an objective off the map and has led to great success by them. Now, Amaterasu up by over 500. We kind of call that the breaking point, if you will, because if every player on the other team has 50 points in their pockets and they score, that's 100. And if you're down by more than 500 points, that means you need perfect scores across the board and you still ain't getting it done. So Amaterasu feeling pretty safe right now.
Yeah, and now Trainer just kind of moving around the map, having some fun. Nudo seeing what's going on up in the top path. 30 seconds left for these teams just to celebrate or, of course, you know, kind of wallow in what just happened to them if you're GT. GT looking amazing in game 1, but Amaterasu is saying, no, this is not the Pokemon Unite that you got in game number 1, buddy.
Yeah, a little bit, they calcified a little bit between games. They thanked GT for the game 1 to knock that rust off, and now Amaterasu looking like in true form. Yeetfan especially really stepping up in those last 2 minutes.
Incredible match there from Amaterasu, ahead just about every single moment of some incredible fights though that just seem to go on forever. GT not able to make it happen. One more game, Amaterasu could be your grand finals champs, or we could have a bracket reset.
Yeah, obviously GT looking to play a little bit more Pokemon Unite tonight. Amaterasu, they says we just want one more. So, can Amaterasu snuff out the hopes and dreams of GT? We're going to find out here in short order. But as I'm looking at this scoreline, Yeetfan 8-7, that's not a bad KO to assist ratio.
It's so exciting to see so many teams challenge these big known quantities inside the community.
The landscape is definitely looking different, and the air is for sure different as well. I'm interested to see what Pokemon these teams ban here. It kind of seemed to have been a tit for tat with the Dodrio and Espeon choices. We're going to see if they stick to that recipe here in Game 3 of the Grand Finals.
Boom. Nothing has changed. Dodrio, Espeon, they are out. Amaterasu's thinking about that Flower Crown.
Well, at the boosted win rate of NA compared to EU at the 87%, look, it's hard to shy away from something that has had such proven results. But if JL locks in that Comfy, then GT gets the Slowbro.
And here we go. GT hovering that Slowbro. They're ready to take it right now. And then the question is, what is the next Pokemon they want to gobble up right here? I was even wondering if they might steal this Glaceon away from Trainer. We haven't seen Trainer have to play anything else inside of this series. And it looks like, no, what? Cinderace for a minute there.
Just switching it around, keeping us on our toes. You'll love to see it. Glaceon and Slowbro have definitely been hallmarks of these March finals. I would love to see a tree here. I'm a fan of that Pokemon. Yeet fan, a fan of Gardevoir. They're selecting them. And the fact that Trevenant hasn't been switched off for a bit makes me feel like that's a comfortable place to be. Woodhammer time.
Here we go. Lacoding looking to make their pick right here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lucario. I don't know if they've played them yet today. Have we seen GT? Have they played Lucario at all?
Yeah, I don't think Lacoding has any miles on Lucario whatsoever, but they lock in the Talonflame. That's what GT wants to go to battle with. Espo taking the wonderful Hoopa, really going to allow them to rotate across the map quickly. Is Trainer going? Are we going to see? We have a Decidueye Greninja possibility here, Spraggles.
We do have a Decidueye Greninja possibility. We might just be bringing out the Greninja. Bit of a throwback watching Trainer on Greninja, a Pokemon they are very familiar with.
Yep, I was just hoping for shades of old. They lock in the Decidueye and we could see that tandem go to work again. But regrets locking in a Machamp. We've got some real Season 1 action going on the side of GT right now.
Yeah, looking great too. You know, the thing that we have on the side of GT is we have a ton of dive. They can just jump in, and they're looking to jump in on this Venusaur, Greninja, Gardevoir. If they're able to get close to any of these Pokemon with the burst damage you can get out of Machamp and Talonflame, they really could start to wipe the squad.
Kratos not unfamiliar with playing the Talonflame, and this is who they want to go to battle with their backs against the wall. GT needs to win this game to keep their tournament hopes alive. Of course, on the other side, Amaterasu, they need this one to call themselves champion. A lot on the line here for this game 3, Spraggles.
Absolutely. For Amaterasu, they want to shut it down. For GT, they need to start it back up and reset this thing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Selfishly, of course, I want to see the reset. I want to see these teams duke it out some more because this series has been amazing. But Amaterasu, except for one game today against GT, has been pretty flawless.
Yeah, and they bounced back in a heck of a way. Normally, if you see a team lose, you can really get a good gauge of where their mental is on how they play that follow-up game. Amaterasu absolutely unfazed. They stuck with their game plan, bounced back in a big way, took a big Game 2 win, and they're looking to close the door on this thing.
Here we go, Amaterasu versus GT. What could be the last game of your North American Grand Finals? Get your popcorn, get your soda, get your dad from the other room. I mean, bring everybody in here to see this because Amaterasu might crown themselves the March Finals champs right now.
Espo and Lacoding pushing in on JL. They see a Bulbasaur they want, some Bulbasaur Nudo leashing out. They're carrying the hoop. They're moving forward. They're going to battle over a little ball toy action right there. As Roland's surely going to be stacking on the Trevenant, no?
Take a look here. Elite Coding just getting a lot of experience, holding it for a bit. They want that level 5 as quickly as they can. It's massive here for Machamp. If you can get the evolution to Machoke before these birds spawn, I mean, that is just huge.
Look at Kratos squaring up for the dive. A lot of communication happening between Espo and Kratos. They're going to see what kind of magic they can make happen. And they're waiting for the Curlier. They dive on a Yeet fan. That's a huge KO. And there's your level 5 before the bird, Spraggles. You called it out. They made it happen. Kratos sussing out the other team and making moves.
What a play right there. You could see both of them didn't know it was about to happen, and then the second it did, it was go, 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 like a team of Marines moving in there, taking down Yeet Fan. Coming back, trying to push him back a little bit here and get a KO, but it looks like they're going to be able to make it out safely. Great play to start this from GT.
GT looking good early. They have a slight level lead, and that's because of that amazing catch on the Curlia early. GT looking to engage again, and those hyperspace holes is really going to keep GT competitive all the way through this game with those resets, the big heals, and the possibility to re-engage, no doubt about it.
Coding right here also has those buffs that he stole from getting that KO off the Gardevoir. Trainer now picking up the buffs for Amaterasu. Level 6. If it was level 7 here at this fight, this would be something GT would really need to worry about. But now they're going to be able to chase in, pick up another KO on Yeet Fan. They're running this thing right now. Let's go. Scoring on the bottom path. They might even break this goal.
GT has an amazing strategy right now. You noticed, I knew exactly what was up when Kratos hit fly and went over the Altaria and Swablu and went right for the deep engage. Nobody on GT was pressing B. They were A-button gamers the whole way. They get a big-time KO on the Curlia, and now they still have that experience lead and tons of points in to boot. You gotta love it.
Amaterasu looking great points-wise, leaving this top goal on one of the most advantageous things that you can do right here. The Surf's coming in, cleaning up a lot of these wild Pokemon right here. And even though they've been behind all game, they're just continuing to get wild Pokemon, get enough experience so that they can level up. That's a level 8 Greninja. It's on parity with the Talonflame.
Yeah, Amaterasu finding a way to get it done. Tons of wild Pokemon on the map. GT wants this Registeel. They're starting to chip in on it as Roland is chucking the wood hammers all over the place. They're going to see what they can do. Nudo's going in deep. Yeet Fan trying to catch them out. Glaceon Unite is all back the other way. And Roland is right in the middle. Big wood hammer comes through. Gardevoir seals it up for Amaterasu. That might be the tide that changes this thing around. Roland, it comes through. Big time wood hammer on Regrets and Espo. They're pushing forward. The pain split is on. Is Regrets going to be able to catch this reset? The wood hammer comes through and they blink out of existence right in front of Roland.
Great fight from Amaterasu right there. GT looking pretty good around that fight as well, but just getting picked off here and there. Greninja's now level 9. He's got a big Unite move. Same thing with Gardevoir. And on the side of GT, while they do have a couple of high-level Pokemon, none of them have their Unites right now. So if they run into Amaterasu, they could be in real trouble.
Yeah, Amaterasu literally lowering the health bars of all these wild Pokemon and just letting Nudo roll through and get all of the last hits so they can hit Venusaur, and they did. Regrets gets engaged on, they get KO'd. Excuse me, that's a Glaceon getting KO'd quickly by Nudo. That's more experience in their hands. They see Kratos, they want that engagement. Pedal Dance, Giga Drain, Tandem going in as Yeet Fan's trying to catch out Espo. Espo's kind of getting smothered and cut off by the rest of the team. The goal zone's gone, Trainer's looking for it, but another clutch hyperspace hole sends the team back to base.
They put a lot of damage onto that hyperspace hole, wondering if GT was going to come back through it. Great decision by them to not use that hyperspace highway and make it back into that fight, because they would have just been rained down on by side shocks and pedal dances and just about everything you could imagine.
Regrets trying to buy spacing. They're moving through. They use their Unite move. They kind of want Nudo. Nudo's carrying the Comfey. They hop over the wall to get onto their goal pad to fight from a little more advantageous position. The Comfey Unite is there, but nobody's really fighting in the middle of it. Coding looks to engage. Talonflame sweeps up the Gardevoir. Huge engagement by them. 2 players down for both sides. Is this push going to continue? The Regieleki is very low. Espo just shadow forces through to chip the Regieleki back, but the Hoopa is unbounded. Now they want the smoke. The Venusaur goes down. That's a big time KO for GT. They're finding their footing now, and they're pushing in the space of this Amaterasu squad that's been looking so formidable.
Amaterasu getting beat a little bit at that top path goal, but they were able to get that Hoopa Unite. Oh no, Yeet Fan in a lot of trouble right here. Kratos has their number every single day. 86753 KO again onto the Guardy. Kratos just picking them up right here, getting punished for it right now. No, lets them go actually and turns back towards the Regirock.
I cannot believe Trainer let them off the hook. Rolling it and Trainer trying to shred this Regirock before Espo and Kratos can get in there and do damage. The bird is in the air. They're going to crash land on it, and they don't quite get it. It's Greninja that seals it up. And I saw the Trevenant Unite come out as well, but that was a fruitless endeavor. Comfey, who else? KO on the Talonflame. Regrets looking to engage with the Glaceon right now. All over this goal pad, but Amaterasu is overstaying their welcome. Are they going to do anything? Trainer just with a quick reset. KO streak of 2 for the Glaceon. GT fends off that push.
Trainer just kind of going, look, I understand that all of my friends are getting KO'd right now, but I have this really sweet way to get out of here. I'm taking the trap door and everyone else is going down. Amaterasu right now looking great at that bottom fight. Here comes a big Machamp Unite looking to pick something up, but no, Trainer with the jukes able to get out of there. A Unite move of their own, picking up a KO on Regrets.
Massive Unite move. Shoryuken right on top, hits their target. Crisp, clean KO for the use of that. They're going to have it back in time for that Rayquaza fight, so don't even matter. Good use of it, get some experience, why not?
Here we go. GT up 173 to 111. You know, no matter how this goes, this has been one amazing grand finals. Just an absolute slugfest between these two teams, throwing punches all match. They are not afraid to fight.
Kratos darting into the tall grass and Yeetfan just resetting in the nick of time. Taken to the skies. Are they going to get a KO? They're going to take that ball toy, no problem. But it's Amaterasu that's really spreading the love to this Regieleki. They're surrounding it right now. All 3 players engaging on it, 4 players, because you can't forget about Comfy, the last hit god coming through, and Regieleki flying in the face is GT with 2:30 on the clock.
And we actually did see GT score in the top path with Talonflame, so they're putting points on the board while this is happening, and it looks like they might be letting this just walk into their top path goal. Maybe they didn't make it in time. No, they are up there to defend, which means Amaterasu has an opening right here to take this bottom Reggie, and it could be a huge advantage, especially depending on what hits the map. It is Reg Ice, so the question is, do they want it? And it looks like they say, no thank you, we're actually okay.
Yeah, Yeetfan intelligently just leashing it out so it resets and no one has time to finish it, but we're going to see if this fight kicks off, Spraggles.
Here we go, 2 minutes on the clock. The question is, what is going to start this? GT is in a do or go home moment right here. 111 to 215. Amaterasu needs to make a decision, but they have games to give. GT does not. As we see Venusaur just positioning itself, getting ready to run in like the mean dinosaur it is with a flower crown on its head, which actually is even more scary somehow. Regrets throwing out a few icicle spears at the enemies with its icy wind. The question is, who is going to start this fight, Dupe Snacks?
They're all spending their money on time because that's what they're buying right now. Coding trying to get some damage in on Nudo. Chunks them a little bit, but nothing to write home about, as Amaterasu's feeling pretty comfortable. They are down. Big wood hammers. We saw those on the bottom half of your screen. Who is going to get impatient first? Who's going to engage first? Comfy's riding the Trevenant. We're going to see if this is it. Oh, the Hoopa comes in and chips up. The wood hammers are in. They're going deep. They're trying to push. Oh, the Trevenant Unite catches 3. They're trying to get the reset here, and they do. Eggnoob is low. They're about half HP. There's no hyperspace hold. Fairy Singularity on the backside. Slowbro get a KO on the Venusaur. That's huge. GT needs to pivot. There's 2 players down for Amaterasu, and it's their biggest damage dealers. Rolling, getting caught out. Let's see if GT can flood on top of them. The Comfy's detached. They're trying to chase down the Gardevoir. Oh, here we go. GT is all over this Rayquaza. It's a half HP. Can they get it done in the face of this Amaterasu squad? GT needs this one. They're melting it down. It's just on rolling. The the Gardevoir comes in. They try to side shock it down. They do. Amaterasu seals it up. Yeetfan's on the scramble. They need to get their points in now. Who has the shields? Trevenant's carrying a ton of points. They got 100 in the bag, and that's because there's 2 Pokemon there. Hondo Burgers are open. They're splitting their way. They're trying to score. What can GT do? They're on the defense, but I think their time is running out.
13 seconds left. They are able to take the shield away from the Comfy, but they need to score right now, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Amaterasu wins this thing. Espo is saying, this is the bush that I go down in. What an amazing fight. They're able to secure it. Yeetfan coming out from nowhere with the massive Gardevoir secure, and securing not only that Rayquaza, but securing their place as your March Finals champions for North America.
Wow, what a game out of Amaterasu, taking it down to the wire. Absolutely razor thin margins was Yeetfan working with. They throw their skill shots right into the center. They seal it up because they already used their Fairy Singularity to take care of Nudo and Trainer. What a play by Yeetfan, putting the team on their back in their final moments. Amaterasu getting it done.
I guess the question that you have to ask yourself, if you're GT or if you're anyone at home watching this, did they need to take Rayquaza there?